just a little bit. Mike?
Really pretty amazing. All right, thank you, Jesse. Well, time now for another tribute to a hometown hero. Many times when I contact veterans about doing a story, they're a little reluctant. It's because they don't consider themselves heroes. Such was the case with 95-year-old Gus Tabor of Terre Haute. Photos of Gus Tabor's family hang on the walls of his home, including pictures of his wife, Catherine, along with their sons and grandchildren. And there's also evidence of his time and service to the nation. Many veterans, especially from World War II, are humble about their service. So it took some convincing, but when Gus started talking, he revealed some remarkable stories.
Too young.
In 1943, he volunteered for the Navy at age 17. His mother agreed, but only if he made her a promise.
And the promise was you do not ever volunteer for submarine duty.
He started out in air transport, but he wanted to do something with submarines. And even though his mother was against it, he was assigned to a submarine tender, which is a ship that supports submarines. He spent a lot of time in Guam building a submarine base. He also carried out deck duty on the USS Sperry and USS Proteus. It was a dangerous time as the Japanese and Americans waged a brutal, long battle in the Pacific.
Now, I wasn't so sure I'd live, but I was sure that the U.S. would win the war, yes.
He says as part of a crew of a subtender, he could, at any time, be ordered to serve on a sub. But his young age of 17 prevented that from happening.
There is not a submarine commander in the fleet that's going to put a 17-year-old kid on a first tour of duty with a submarine. You got 80 men, depending on your life.
When the war was over, he was asked to be part of an elite fighting force called the Amphibious Scouts and Raiders, which later became known as the Navy SEALs. He spent several weeks training, but when asked to commit to 5 years, he declined. The reason? He had married a pretty Irish girl from Connecticut named Catherine.
And she said, well, because I won't marry a career serviceman. If you're going to stay in the Navy, the answer was no.
Gus did serve 2 more years in the North Atlantic as the U.S. monitored Soviet activity during the Cold War. After the service, he worked for a time in Connecticut, and then they moved back to Terre Haute. He worked for Union Carbide and then spent 20 years as a federal law enforcement officer at the U.S. Penitentiary. His wife wasn't real thrilled about that job because she worried about his safety. But Gus longed for action.
I had not lost my taste for danger.
Even at 95, it was easy to tell that Gus had a fighting spirit of a military man and a true love for this country. I want to thank Gus's friend Chris Sawyer for contacting me, and Merry Christmas to all veterans and their families. All right, well, still ahead in our second half hour of Live at 5, a look at our latest local headlines, including an announcement that will bring National Guard members to Union Health to fight the pandemic. And precautions against COVID regarding the Winter Olympics, including the NHL, now backing out as a safety measure. More details on this when we return.